Friday weekly community builder meetup. And we have our normal format. With smaller groups, we can be more flexible on that, just because, you know, I don't want to impose a structure that isn't good for everyone here. But I think it's important to also try the structure and see how it's going. We can always leave it if it's not working. Before we dive into community pain points, let's check in about how we set this container, what we're hoping to get out of today, and how we want to contribute. So if you remember, this is where we do norms, and you can add your own, but you can also just check out the group that I'm or Carl is representing and read one of the lines on the rules or description. And that'll be...
I saw Scott join.
Oh, yay. It's a Scott. Is the pen not working? Or... Okay. So yeah, what is a norm that you think we need to remember to do a healthy group today?
Where is Scott?
He's probably finding his way up.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I'm waiting for the person who just joined to get here.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Have you met Scott before?
Maybe. I guess we'll find out when Scott gets here. I'm not sure.
There's Scott. Oh my gosh. It's a Mew.
Hello.
Hello, Mew.
No, I don't think I have met
you got Scott, it right.
But I have
all right.
I have forgotten people I've met before. So
Oh, no worries. Yeah, I don't believe we've met. Nice to meet you.
Scott, George,
I'm gonna imaginary shake your desktop.
That's right.
Desktop hand.
Yay.
Or paw.
Or tail. Tail reaches the highest. And Scott, you've met Geek before, I'm pretty sure. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad to be able to come tonight. I haven't seen people
I know.
for a while.
You and Geek both haven't been to one of these in a while, so it's fun. Good times. Okay, so we're doing norms, and Geek and George, I think, wanted to wait for you because you had arrived, so now we can all jump in. What are our norms for tonight?
No substances.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And what do you know about that norm? Like, why is that important?
Because you don't want to be intoxicated while at a group like this, so that you can be present.
Yeah, it compromises presence many times for the individual and sometimes can skew it for the group also. Thank you. Who else?
I just rolled out of bed, so I'm like trying to think of how to say one and say more than just state the thing, but all I really got in me right now is how about be kind?
Yeah. Does somebody else want to describe why kindness is important if Carl can't? Why do we want that to be a norm in our group? What do we appreciate about kindness?
All right, I got it.
Okay.
I got it. So, but it's going to be very clear. I just rolled out of bed. So,
yes.
In all forms of, communication with people, having an air of kindness, generosity to you, giving the other person space to express themselves, that kind of goes into like the act of listening to, show that a person's contributions being appreciated with your listening, but also, reflective questions, that sort of stuff. So be kind in the sense to me means like, show that care that, you would expect when you're sharing.
Yeah. I would also add to it, kindness is about resonance. So noticing my energy, if it's really low and somebody else's might be really high, and how do we bridge between that? And how do we match each other at our different frequencies and create a harmony together? So kindness is about caring for the group vibe in addition to getting my own needs met. What else? What's another norm? Yeah, Scott.
My go-to is always to say hello when arriving and to try to say goodbye when you sign out.
Yeah.
So we don't get the Irish exit.
Yeah, and specifically, we love Irish people, and we also recognize that it's incredibly convenient to just vanish in here, and that is the greater norm we all exist in. That vanishing in many event settings is totally permissible and no expectation, but because we are practicing building community on purpose, doing what Carl just did, probably as a show and tell, is it's sudden. It can kind of make that bracing response. And I'm like, what the fuck just happened? So you know, checking in and recognizing your presence is felt and it is missed, even when we have 20 people here. It's still part of the fabric of what we're building today. Ah, hello. Quantum's here. New avatar too.
Let me switch my avatar back.
Yeah, I like that one.
This is the main avatar.
Really interesting.
That one's fun.
Yeah. Said the Mew about the carnivorous looking dog.
Well, this is.
Oh no, that's Moist Critical Legoshi.
Oh. Well, this one's also fun. Cool. Well, welcome, Quantum. We're just doing norms. You got here just in time. So we've had. See if we can do a quick quiz. What have we already covered? What do you remember that somebody else brought up?
Be kind. No Irish goodbyes.
Substances.
No substance.
All right. Yep.
Yeah.
Controlled substances.
Yes. Control your substance use, please.
The one I conveniently forgot.
Nice. Who else? You can also review the description of the group for a list of things we like to remember. If you're struggling for a norm, or you can contribute a norm that happens in other event cycles that feels important to you.
I don't know where this would fall into. Well, I think we touched on it, but a bit of moderation I noticed in a different community. When an event was running over time for certain members participating, a person did step in for the sake of time to this is a harsh way to put it, to kind of cut them off.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it was generous to run over time in the first place. And it's unfortunate that that person didn't quite have enough space to get everything off their chest that they wanted to. So it was a sort of balance between the generosity to run over time, but also the moderation for the needs of the whole group, you know? So it was quite the thing to see, and it could be a very uncomfortable thing to do for the people who moderate.
Yeah. I don't know that that would be a norm with us, but I do know that one of the ways the group can sometimes subtly, without even meaning to, support and control for that is by using emojis. And so basically, like, emoji use I think about it like an echo or throwing something, a boomerang that's out there. Like I speak, and when it hits you and you're like, oh, I got something out of that, use an emoji. And so then when a speaker is speaking, and if everybody's done their emojis and then they've stopped doing emojis, that's information for the speaker that they may have overflowed the capacity of the group in their listening, because nobody's doing emojis anymore and they were happening before. So it's a visual way to tell that the music is playing and it's time to get off the stage. And usually when we get into groups like bridge makers that have community builders and leaders who have been practicing holding that time awareness, it's less of an issue here. But sometimes I will cut people off, and sometimes we cut each other off just because of the time delays, etc. So yeah, thanks for mentioning that. It does sound pretty painful how that went. And this is where spatial design can come in and really help with that. The magic of VR and helping people understand visually what their time boundaries are, so it doesn't lean on the moderators or leaders to have to keep pushing that back, kind of thing. So yeah, thank you. One of our norms is about, what was it? I just thought of it and it went away thinking of that one. Feels like an important one. Stay on orange if you can, or invite people. If you're going to invite people to this group, please pull them aside and let them know, like read through the norms with them, etc. And that helps them join the circle if they want to, consciously, and understanding this isn't just a hangout spot. What is the last one? I feel like we're missing an important one. Where are my groups? Launchpad groups. Anybody can think of it before me. You get extra something. I don't know what it is. There it is. Oh, well, kind of. This is one, but RSVPing is a way to take care of bridge makers when they're taking care of you. It's a way to acknowledge you're planning to come. So please keep that in mind for events, and I'm glad you're here. So we're going to dive into pain points. What is one ache about building community that you're bringing here today? And whoever would like to can start.
I've got a big one I've noticed.
Okay.
I'm not entirely sure how to start saying it. And this is again with another community I've observed. I've noticed in certain spaces where people gather to share vulnerable things, that some participants can be more comfortable sharing and very uncomfortable sharing depending on where that person is coming from. And I noticed that some participants are really uncomfortable, and if I get and I try to let them know how courageous it is for them to share that, especially when I notice the subtleties that mean it was very difficult for them to be vulnerable in a group setting. And I wonder what inclusive spaces can do to facilitate that expression from the people who need it most. That's the pain point that I've been thinking about from observation. And yeah,
That's an interesting one.
and some of these people might be, qualify as former trolls or be perceived as trolls. And those tend to be people who actually do need that space the most, but are hardest to reach.
And probably also hardest to contain. Yeah. So I want to make sure that I'm understanding your pain point, but I also want to invite for everybody here because you've all seen me do this. And so I don't want this to be a come talk to Hey You event, right? Does anybody want to try to do some reflective listening to make sure that we're all understanding George's pain point? Like, what did you hear?
I can try, but I will admit that my wife spoke to me halfway through there, so I was trying to listen to both. But I heard that you're having, maybe you can reinforce for me because I think I missed kind of some vital stuff there, and but I was hearing that you're having folks who are trying to kind of get in, follow the rules, get into the community, do what they're supposed to, but like kind of perceptions of others, or I don't know. Maybe I need you to reiterate it because the more I try to say what I heard, I don't think I heard anything.
That's okay. Instead of having George say it twice, let's see if anyone else has any other reflections to offer back. What did you hear? This is part of how we make space with each other. Okay, I'm gonna go. So what I heard you say, George, is that it's okay. We all get to practice here. So I kind of have a oh, did you have it? Is Scott gonna try? Go for it.
I think what I heard, and I'll summarize. So I hope I don't leave any details out. Was that it's it can sometimes be like easier or more difficult, for people to share, like depending on like the point of reference that they have, and as a host, it can be challenging, like a rewarding challenge, mind you, but to kind of make that experience like beneficial and comfortable and productive, like for everybody, because of the different types of like energies that mix. So the quintessential host challenge.
How to harmonize your group, but specifically within that, what I hear is thinking about vulnerability. When a baby is born, they are incredibly vulnerable. Like, that's the ultimate expression of vulnerability. I don't know my name. I don't know what clothes are. I don't know how to feed myself. I am freaking upset, right? And I am just, if I'm healthy and well, right? That's vulnerable. How comfortable everybody is to witness that, to hear that, to make meaning out of that. You got to be pretty close to the parent or the baby itself, to really want to be present for that, right? And so a lot of what happens in here with trolls is they are coming in and getting excited and accessing this core. I almost think about it like rings of the tree. They're accessing this core energy of like thrill, but also anger and rage. And it comes through, and their words are trying to catch up to it. And then they get distracted by actually eliciting those emotions in other people because it validates their emotions. And so then trying to come into a community group where they're trying to share, I'm upset because XYZ happened. That takes practice to name that, and also not be like, no, and let me finish saying, I have to say all the stuff of why I'm upset, otherwise I'm not going to feel heard. And I'm attached to you taking all of it, not just some of it in. And so now everybody's feeling awkward because they're feeling like hostage to what somebody's sharing. And they don't know how to process that. They don't know how to deal with that. They are sitting there, and probably some people sitting there going, I can tell why those people did that to you because I'm feeling that way right now. And that's the opposite of a healing safe space for this person who's expressing all their discontent. So, you're having a hunger to create healing spaces for people who have less skills in expressing their pain.
Yes, yes, yes. And especially the ones that do participate in events and spaces that almost fill that need,
Mm-hmm.
but not
Not all the
quite.
way.
It's not
Right.
enough. It's like just a
Yeah.
shred of what they
Yeah.
need.
And
And
then
like, yeah.
now they're in a space where the marginalized folks who haven't found their space, who have a lot of their symptoms, are being included, and they're too far outside of that also. They're the marginalized. They're like too much for people, and then they get bumped out. And it's like, wow, if I can't participate well in a social anxiety group or a learning how to communicate group or whatever, then like I must be really messed up. So recognizing how much pain that can cause in the individual that's not being heard or received or made space for is really intense. It's an incredible level of empathy, very lonely level of empathy is my guess, because there's a lot of people that are not going to really care about anything that we all just said. Like, no, this is my game. I play here. Sometimes I share real things, but if you don't get it, get away from me. And you're talking about a community culture that can absorb that and release it without exiling the person with it, and create a spiral kind of path on how to harmonize with us, but have disruptive moments and make space. Yeah. Thank you, George. It's a really good initiation to this. Remembering the conscience of the community that does not exist in here many times, and asking hard questions that are not going to have answers from any one community group to solve. Yeah. There's a group in here that I think Emma Stone showed me about. It's the No Friends Friends group.
Yeah, I was thinking of them too.
Yeah.
When you were talking.
Yeah. And I think about that group, and I'm like, there's literally a chair, if you were here last week, in that group space that is missing, at least in the PC end of things, because somebody in that group killed themselves. And that's an intense symbol of what can happen when we didn't reach the person. Do we blame ourselves for that? We can't. That's pretty horrible. But can we take some responsibility or learnings from that to say, how do we do it differently going forward? We have to, because otherwise we're just growing suffering. And I think their chair in that space is a way to remind themselves of holding respect, that this place can be a cliff edge for some people. The somberness that comes with that in a space where we dress up so fantastical and colorful, to be right next to somebody that is really on the edge, that's really intense. So thank you. Who else has a community pain point? And I'm going to ask y'all again about the empathy thing and like mirroring, so pay attention to whoever shares next.
Yeah, now we know it's gonna,
now you know.
be a pop quiz.
Thrust you into that.
And I'll jump in just because once I got the better understanding of what Jorge was saying there, it always strikes me, how like elements of things are so similar and at their core the same,
Mm.
and it's pretty similar to what I was sharing the last couple of weeks with my work situation, but it has a lot of parallels, honestly, to not just like my online communities, but bridge makers in particular, just in the kind of desire to get a new project up and running and, me not being the one in charge of it, but still wanting to be helpful and do what I can.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of started doing like an impromptu. Well, okay, to make more sense, when I started at the building I worked at, we got like 1 or 2 people every few weeks, and they had plenty of time to kind of get their footing, you know. Dang dog. And we still found it very intimidating and scary and confusing, you know, because it's a pretty complicated technical thing that you can't know anything about before you get there. And then I go to this new building, and they, like 3 months ago, they hired like 40 people on every shift. So there's just a bunch of people sitting around doing nothing, have no idea what's expected of them, don't really know like if they're going to get in trouble or anything at any moment. Like they just don't know what's going on. So trying to, you know, me and the other guy got together, and we're like, we need to just start grabbing people and like give them like a quick 5-minute rundown, but then just like talk to them, let them ask questions, you know. You know, there's so many things we were wondering about that we didn't get answers to forever. But then while doing that, you know, then the bosses come around and they're like, oh, what are you doing? Do you have a spreadsheet, or have you ever everybody sign off? Where's your PowerPoint presentation? And I'm like, no, we're just taking small groups. We're talking to them. It's not that serious. And they're wanting to make it into a more, you know, tracked like thing and get it done as quick as possible. And I'm like, well, by doing that, you're going to, you know, have people fall through the cracks who are just smiling and nodding while we're going through the PowerPoint. And I want to make sure that everybody here has a chance to stop me and say, you know, what the hell are you talking about? Please explain that better. So just kind of that finding that balance of satisfying the bosses and, you know, tracking things that need tracked while also doing my best to just help these people that I know are scared and confused. And you know, comparing it to bridge makers, though, I'd say like it's kind of nice in that there is that pool of people at least. You know, it's not when it comes to bridge makers and that same thing. It's
problems.
Not like exactly.
Hey, Gunsy,
if our problem
welcome
was just
back.
we had too many people and not enough management,
leaving
I could handle
test
that.
trail for me.
Of course. Good. That's an important one, Carl, and I love it. And I'm going to give our group a chance to reflect back. What is Carl's pain point around community? Who would like to try? Okay.
Sorry, I'm recovering from an airway infection.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
What I gathered, basically, they tried to onboard a bunch of people at once without giving them time, breathing room, or information to get acclimated before arriving on site. And they were essentially crash coursing everyone all at once and trying to jam a bunch of information into their heads in a very short amount of time, which is not
almost
really,
but not even like, just a complete lack of even that. Kind of just throw you in there and be like, go fix things. Like these people I didn't get anything, but I also had the slow time to figure it out. These people got nothing.
Yeah, so not even onboarded. Yeah.
So they were just expected to start working with no training or preparation of what was going on.
Where's my mind blown emoji avatar? Yeah. Thank you, Geek. That was awesome. I feel like that's the setup to the pain point and the actual tension of sorts. Like, where's the tension? With George's example, the tension is vulnerability versus group cohesion. Right? And so when somebody is super, super vulnerable and takes up all the space, the group cohesion dissolves. When somebody is vulnerable in measured doses, the group cohesion can adjust and flex to that. And in Carl's pain point, there's the setup And then now the tension point is, how do I go with this idea of onboarding these small groups and being relational enough that they stay involved in their own learning? But my supervisors are saying, give them spreadsheets, give them PowerPoints. And I know they may cooperatively smile and check these lists off, but I know they're probably not really going to be absorbing anything. So how do I meet
Not all
these
of
two
them.
pressures? Yeah, and that you don't want to leave anybody behind. Yeah.
Yeah, that was said a lot. Like, I don't want anybody to get, fall through the cracks.
Yeah. And so how to create accountability for what you are teaching, but also relational camaraderie, so everybody feels like they're helping with their learning process. They're taking ownership of it.
And just having that person, like, that was big for me when I finally found somebody that, I can go and bug them for answers. Okay.
You're becoming like a den dad for your work. Oh, thank you, Carl. Okay. Who else has a pain point? Or who would like to share their pain point? Yeah. Go for it, Geek.
Well, as you know, I've been kind of unavailable or out of reach for the past couple months here. And part of that is because I've been trying to build something pretty significant here in VRChat. Because right now, what me and my team are working on is building a fully functional library here in VRChat. Problem is, there's other people that are also trying to achieve the same thing, but they are also going to essentially bastardize it in the process. And in the midst of what I consider to be a massive educational crisis, I'm trying to make sure that this library not only sees the light of day, but is done right so that education becomes accessible. And there's just been kind of a balancing act of checks and just making sure who I can trust, making sure the people have the skills that I need to get this realized, but also being concerned with how other groups are going to end up using this technology if they make their own version, and if their only goal is profit instead of the betterment of other people.
Yeah. Who would like to reflect Geek back? What did you hear? Gubsy, are you raising your hand? Yay. Go for it. What did you hear, Gubsy?
So I'm hearing there's a little bit of frustration and concern about potential maybe misalignment of goals or motives, and that creates some sensations of fear or uncertainty. That's what I'm hearing.
I love the human on purpose, emotional empathy, reflective listening. I'm like, wow, that was awesome. You named like 5 emotions in there. That's fantastic. Does that fit for you, Geek? Did Gubsy get that? You're feeling frustrated, concerned, and negotiating.
Yeah, to a degree.
Yeah.
Because there's also other groups that have the talent and potentially the skill to build something like this, but with morals not being aligned, it's entirely possible that what I'm trying to achieve could be buried by lack of attention. And then we go back to, how do we solve the education crisis?
Yeah. Yeah, you're worried about people commodifying the information and therefore putting some kind of paywall around it or some kind of attached expectation. And you're really trying to build one that is more genuinely free.
Accessible.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. I hear you. These wicked problems we're all trying to solve. They're so hard. And maybe it's one book at a time. I don't know. But thank you for bringing that. That sounds really consuming. Who else has a community pain point?
So I got here late. Did you say pain point?
Yeah. Just what are you aching for around community building? What is hurting the most?
I had a couple things actually.
Hmm.
And I also, excuse my voice because I've been talking my ear off like the past couple of days. I've been streaming, talking my ear off,
Oh,
and now my voice is destroyed.
yeah. Wow.
But this is more like a personal thing, but I would say this applies to community, definitely, and that's identity. Kind of a sense of like who I'm supposed to be, and feeling like maybe like community members are trying to get me to conform, unconsciously getting me to conform to something that doesn't feel like more me or very incomplete. So like trying to aim for something, but like I don't know what it is, and I don't know. Just kind of it's like identity crisis, uncertainty, fear, overstimulation, and just like real discomfort.
Wow. Thank you, Gubsy. Who would like to reflect Gubsy back? Quantum or George, do you have a... Want to try?
I'll give it a shot, I guess.
Okay, go for it.
So what I'm hearing is that you feel like your community members are changing you into someone you don't want to be, basically.
That's interesting.
And you don't know how to deal with that currently?
Yeah.
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 It reminds me, well done, Quantum. It reminds me of the bonsai tree in the wild versus the bonsai tree that we all think of when we think bonsai tree. There's a documentary on, is it Netflix or Amazon? It might be Amazon. That is all just like it's 2 hours about bonsai trees. But at the very beginning, it starts out with this guy trimming a bonsai tree in Portland, where I'm from. And so I recognized where he was at and everything. And he says, the truth is, bonsai trees are starving their entire lives. And he's like cutting different pieces. And he's like, they're only that small because we haven't fed them enough so they can become their full selves. And I was like, and now I'm going to watch 2 hours about how you tortured trees? Ah, like, no, thank you. Who do we got? Oh my gosh, it's a Blurdette. Welcome. Come on in.
Hello. Sorry.
Oh, glad
for
you're
being
here.
late.
Yeah, glad you're
Oh,
here.
I'm tiny.
You're tiny. With the tiny voice. So yeah, the bonsai tree metaphor feels to me like what happens in community systems when leaders are like, I see a crack in the ceiling, let's grow towards the light. And then people are like, well, let's just trim this one part of you. And oh, you're going to not fit that way. So let's just strip that off. And can I take this part? This needs to be somewhere else. And so that leader gets shaped by the community as the community is shaped by the leader. There's an exchange going on. And it can feel, if it happens too fast or it's by people we don't trust and know what to value about who I am, what is the me that doesn't get changed, that can feel very destabilizing. And yeah, thank you for sharing that. That's a real problem. Yeah, George.
Can I add a little bit? I think what it also sounds like it could be extremely uncomfortable to have people, especially friends, who are trying to support you. And when you're expressing vulnerability and uncertainty about your own identity, I think the people with good intentions want to resolve that uncertainty, but it brings with it some pressure. But it's so hard to call that out because they have good intentions and they're your friends.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a big pain point.
Is that fit for you, Gubsy? Even us doing reflective listening of what you're sharing, we may be pulling out some things you said and leaving out some things you said. And that can feel like its own kind of splitting of going, yes, that's right. But wait, what else did I say? Now I feel a little empty or undone. And so thank you, George, for adding another layer there. I could see that in your body, Gubsy. You're like, that's hard. It's hard to have people try to validate us and accidentally invalidate us a little bit too. And that costs. That's tough. Did we get all
Sorry,
of
I
it?
don't know what to say. I'm just glad I'm actually really glad I joined tonight. This is actually really helpful.
Yeah, sometimes it really just the mirroring piece we forget to do with our friends many times because it can feel a little I don't know, it just gets informal when we're talking with friends. Yeah, okay, Quantum. Yeah, there should be one in the lighthouse over to the left. I think only the first door is working. Don't go into the second one. Somebody stayed in here too long. So sorry, I couldn't help it. Okay, so who else has a community pain point?
I think I can bring
Bring
it
it. Yeah.
Yeah, and in this pain point, like I might be the pain point for others.
Scott, you're like, I have a confession. I am the community pain point. It's not an ache on me. I am the ache on you. Bless your heart. Oh.
Yeah, I'm in a relatively new place where I live, and it's a very walkable kind of mid smallish like city with a downtown and stuff. And I usually don't go to bed like too early, so I like to sometimes walk at night, like if I feel like restless. So sometimes I walk at like midnight or like 1 a.m. And it's kind of nice because there's just like really not much going on, and you can wander about. And the city is large enough that there's desperation that falls on some people, and like they don't really have a place to go that night, so they might sleep on the street. And I'm having like more and more encounters where people ask for money while I'm walking.
Yeah.
And I I try to pride myself on being like sympathetic to the social like injustice that lands people in that situation, and to be empathetic with it. But I also don't have the budget to like give money out every night. So I'm often telling a person no that comes up and asks for money. And it can turn into a really situation where you're kind of pressed, because there's technology now too, where, you know, if I say I didn't bring money, well, there's an ATM, you're like right down the street, like let's go. Oh, I see you have a cell phone. Like I accept PayPal and Cash App.
Really? Wait, you've had
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
you've had people offer a PayPal exchange? Wow,
Yeah.
that's
So
intense.
it's not like I can really
Mm.
like lean on the crutch of like not having the complete
Yeah.
means to like exchange cash. Like
Yeah.
I have to like at that point just say like no.
Yeah.
And
Right.
sometimes when people hear no, they get angry, and it's like I'm just trying to get a walk in after
Yeah.
a stressful day at work and stuff, and like I empathize with you, but I also just am not in a situation where I can help. And where I struggle is like the intense emotion like coming back from that. And I have to extend like the practice to say like this is somebody who's coming from a place of desperation. I can't treat this as a normal situation. Like I have to like but it's difficult. Like I'm kind of walking away feeling like dysregulated because somebody like expressed extreme anger or disappointment at me for something I didn't even really do. Like
Yeah.
and I have to realize like it's the desperation talking and not the person. So I'm trying. Like I don't always succeed. Sometimes I'm walking away saying nothing. Sometimes I'm given a little bit back. It's a growing practice.
Wow. Thank you for that. Who would like to try reflecting that back to Scott? Yeah, Gubsy.
From what I'm hearing is like, especially like your tone of voice and kind of just like how you speaking about it. It's like you have this desperation, like you want to help and do the right thing and help people in your local community when they're struggling. And it's like you're struggling too. And it's like, gosh, you wish you could do more. It's like it feels like it's just within reach, but like, you're constrained, they're constrained, and it's like these two things meet and just like don't know what to do with it. And it's like, because I've had that before where it's like, you want to do something. I've seen like people, on like there's a CVS and there's a guy with like his dogs and they're homeless and it's like, you want to do something, but it's like, oh, you wish you could do more. And it's just like there's all these systems and stuff that kind of make it much more complicated um, that you have like, little control over, or at least, you wish you could have control over, but you just don't know how. And that can just be really frustrating and like, makes you question like what type of person that you are. Just talking about identity a second ago, it's like so frustrating, but like you just gotta remember that in your core, you're in the right place, and maybe eventually there'll be a dialogue and something from that can emerge where you'll know what to do and it'll lead you down somewhere.
Yeah, so Gubsy, you are so empathic and you just transitioned so seamlessly from reflective listening to some reassurance and some care. And in general, our norm for this is we don't fix it, and there's still a lot of nutrients in what you gave. And so this is the collision also, right? Of like, what is our norm? But also maybe that landed for Scott, and that is what Scott needed. And we bend here, you know. Um, did you feel heard, Scott? Did that land for you? Or did it feel fixed?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think that's kind of the emotional conundrum. It's like
Yeah.
feeling like I have a value of wanting things to be better, but yet like faced with a situation where you're just literally being asked, like, please make the situation better. And
Yeah.
you're like, no,
Oh.
it's like such a conundrum to wrestle
Yeah.
with. So I did really appreciate those words.
And
Would
yeah,
it
go ahead.
would it be okay for me to sort of reflect and also a suggestion,
We
but
hold off
not
on
try to fix
those.
it? Okay,
Yeah.
hold
We
on.
hold
Okay,
off on the suggestions. You
okay,
can say if you're open for suggestions. I also have suggestions, but what can happen really easily
gotcha.
in this space is we start to try to like kind of replant that ache and be like, this is the right fertilizer.
Mm,
This will grow better. And this is a space to give the ache air. Just breathe into the ache. Yeah.
gotcha.
It's a good question, though. Thank
Okay.
you for the
Well,
question.
I can definitely empathize because I lived in Portland, Oregon for a while, and it was downtown, and so there were so many people on the streets. Like people would tell me like, oh, some of these people are here willingly, like that. This is just the way that they enjoy living. I did not really believe that. But anyways, so because of the weather and everything there, every summer especially, there's tons of people. I mean, we would have people camping in our backyard, basically, and just camping on the, like any of the NutriGround on the highways. And so there were so many people who would ask for money when I would just go walking around to go to the grocery store or whatever. And I feel that ache that you were expressing because I felt that too. Like how do I help and be the person who I want to be, but then also like within my means, and then also just being safe as well. Because even though there's people who are in need, there's also people who are beyond my ability to help, or who may be at some point where they just can't be friendly. But is it okay if I say what I did in my situation that kind of helped me, or I just put that out there?
I think
Okay, never
empathizing
mind.
is what our goal is.
I'm trying.
And
Yes,
you're good.
empathize.
You're good. That's beautiful. I would invite, because you are having some people pull wanting to support you, if Scott, you are open to it, maybe you can be reached out to later, or we can continue this discussion in the weekly community builder, thread. Like what is everybody doing around houselessness, and like how do we navigate that?
That would be a
And
great
Yeah,
discussion.
I like that suggestion to take
Yay.
it to maybe a Discord thread,
Yeah.
because actually I feel like there's a lot of wisdom here that I accidentally like stumbled into, and I'd love to learn more. So
Yeah.
a Discord chat is very welcome.
All because I said too much.
Well, right, but Gubsy, remember your pain point, right? Of like, here I'm growing these ways, and then people are containering me. And so the solution many times is, how do we reshape that funnel so it works? There is a place for you to offer that input, and more people can enjoy it and take it in. So yeah, it's beautiful. Both. This is why we don't have a lot of rules in Bridge Makers. We have guidelines and we have norms, so we can keep being flexible and negotiating the space. So lovely. Okay. Wow. So,
sorry for trying to cheat so
much
hard.
richness. You always try to cheat. It's adorable. You're like, yeah, but just one suggestion. I'm like, actually, that's still in the fiction realm.
Pain was just so tangible.
So it is. It's visceral. Everybody knows this experience unless you have lived it inside of a rock, especially more and more these days. And so, yeah, my belly was like, I have so many things to offer there, maybe. And then it was like, no, this is not that moment. How many moments do we ever have to say, this really hurts? And people just say, I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you. This really hurts. It's a tough thing to hold on our ends, but we can offer reflective listening. So we've got, I think, 2 more to offer their pain points. Quantum has fallen into something. We don't know where Quantum's at, but
He said a bathroom break, but that's quite the
Oh, he's
bathroom
behind us.
break.
Yeah.
No, he's up there on the hill.
Yeah.
Oh, hasn't come
He's-
back into his avatar.
Yeah. He has excommunicated from his avatar body. So we're gonna go with welcome Sneaky.
Hi.
Hello.
Sneaky, if you have a pain point, and then Blurdette, and then I think that's everybody here today.
Is this like what we did before with like ick, or is this a bit different?
Oh, the exploration. This is focused specifically on community building. So I think you were here for Scott, and Scott's was, I'm trying to be community with myself on my walks, and I'm getting intruded on by people that are in very different community building states for themselves. And so it's colliding the mismatch of needs, and Scott is sometimes ending up back at home not rested and renewed, but actually like ragged and just in a lot of pain because of the conflicts that happen around that. Yeah.
Oh, oh, I've had one that's really fresh.
I might know
and
what it is.
I don't know
Let's
if
hear it.
I don't know if I've completely processed it yet to be
Oh.
able to,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Can I take a guess at it? Would that help, or is that too weird?
Okay, yeah.
And this might be a terrible idea, by the way, but my guess is this might have something to do with like cancel culture and getting targeted. No? Okay, there's more. Wow. Yeah. Well, maybe it's the thing I say these days is get cancel culture in VR chat is like a Tuesday, like it just everybody has ideas of how to spin and throw shade on really beautiful things. So, yeah, sounds like you've
I guess a way I could describe it is a sister community of ours. I'm doing a collaboration event with them, and I feel like trying to defend our event, I stepped in some mud.
So that is the cancel culture piece that I was mentioning. That's my frame of it. Is it has to do with getting targeted for being out into the world and and just what that looks like online, and seeing the spin, seeing who groups in and who takes sides, and how to engage and stay in integrity, but also not share in a way that makes us more vulnerable to being targeted. It's so hard.
So you were paying attention to the evidence collection channel as it was going up.
I got forwarded.
I understand why you had a good guess.
Yeah. I got forwarded this Reddit thread recently, and I appreciated it because it actually was targeting. Where's my headset? Am I back? It was targeting almost all the communities Bridgemakers is connected to. And I was like, oh shit. And I was like, where's Bridgemakers? I feel left out. Can we throw that in there? Should I be like, hey, I'd like to nominate Bridgemakers for this cancel cycle, because technically it's kind of in the middle of all this.
Don't feel left out. I saw you.
So the guy that was doing that.
Oh, thank you. Yes, good.
Yeah, the guy that was doing that.
Yeah.
The guy that was doing that made a big sink in our server just recently. And you saw the evidence collection channel. So
yeah. It's tough stuff. It is but there is some interesting points as far as like not about community systems, but about this idea of community systems that are trying to address vulnerabilities, and how that can create without organized moderation, that which one could say there's a higher responsibility to have clear and organized moderation for vulnerable groups. that can actually accidentally set up pools of toxicity and harm. That's a good point in general. Targeting that at any particular group in such a anonymous way, so to speak, is pretty toxic also. So yeah, tough stuff. Yeah, sneaky.
Y'all got me skimming Reddit
Yeah,
trying to find a topic.
Carl's like, where's the cancel culture? Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna ask too of like, what's this evidence collection channel?
I was going to say I did feel safe the whole time because we did have tools in place to handle such things, our
Beautiful.
evidence collection, and we had a network of people to help take care of it.
Lovely. And if I understood correctly, I think you had a bigger reply on there, and you definitely brought your bouncy energy to it. I could hear your voice in saying it.
I
And
tried to turn it around and invite
yeah.
people instead.
Yeah, it was lovely. It was a very human, and I think I just felt really sad reading it because I was just like, God, that is so much life energy you had to pour into responding to this. And so there's this part of me going like, oh, how do I capture this dynamic? I'm at doing a conference presentation, a couple different ones this week for moderators, and I was like, oh, I want to scrub this whole thing and throw it into my AI engines to like start to churn out some of the learning points out of this. Of this is a pattern of how communities get targeted, and I'm kind of excited to hear that Bridgemakers was on there. I really did feel left out. I was like, no, 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 no. And then I was like, wait, why not? Like, are we not big enough in the world to be targeted? Oh, maybe we're not.
Yeah, we
just. I was like, I think I know who this person is, and they definitely have written scathing things in surveys anonymously. So why didn't my name get thrown in there? So good to know.
Killing me. What's the Reddit post called?
Carl,
right?
Not the time. But yeah, we
Someone
could do
forward it to me.
we could do a
Everyone
whole
wants to sip up the drama.
yeah, we could do a whole series in here just on cancel culture if we had the interest, because it is there's a complexity to it that I don't love, but I do have a lot of knowledge on, partly for my own survival. So yeah, cool. Wow, thank you, Sneaky. And I'm sorry, it just ugh. Calling out a
Thank
sneaky
you.
cat seems like a haiku that is also a curse.
Well, I did manage to tighten security as a result of it. There is no criteria to automatically kick accounts that are newer than 24 hours.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that can help. Oof. Cancel culture pain points. All right.
You were definitely on my mind also, hey, as the whole thing kind of unfolded.
Yeah. Thank you. It looked when somebody forwarded it to me, I was like, I've made it into this community system because somebody was like, cancel culture? Hey yo, you should know about this.
Yeah.
And I was like, thank you. That's right. Bring me your cancel culture samples. It's just different in VR. Cancel culture is, you still maintain all the cancel culture in online, but then you add immersive blocking, fighting, and rumor milling. And that is just like, let's pour lava on your burn from the fire. It is so much more intense to add VR into that. So, yikes.
Yeah, they DM'd me this morning too with a little squirt of lemon.
What?
Oh my god.
I'm resisting the urge to jump off the cliff right
are we
now.
talking about?
But yeah. Welcome back, Quantum. Whole story.
Sorry, I got
but-
stuck in a family cutscene.
Oh, wow. You have, is that your
No,
community
no,
sharing
'cause-
pain point? Like, this is what happened when I ventured to the restroom.
So
My
much.
parents talked to me and then gone 20 minutes, reduced to atoms.
Wow. Yikes.
I kind of have a community pain point, but I don't know if it's controversial or not. And I think it would go good with the event on Sunday for like the question thing too.
Ooh, cool.
Should I like go over it now or wait?
Yeah, let me look at what our time is here. So we're definitely we've used up our hour and then some. I love the conversation. Let's check in with Blurdet and then we'll see maybe if we can do a condensed version of that one. And you and I can DM if you're wanting it to be in street epistemology also. So Blurdet, what is your ache?
I can cede my time to quantum talk.
You're such a rule breaker. I love it. Okay, Quantum.
Am I not supposed to?
Mine is like kind of small
Okay.
too.
Oh,
it's
sorry.
not like that big.
It's
But
okay. Go ahead.
it's just like the thing of like every single group in VR chat having like a Discord channel. Like I feel like some groups shouldn't have Discord channels.
Interesting.
Because man, I only have a limit of
Yeah.
100 on Discord
I've
without
been talking
Nitro.
about this too.
Huh.
Yeah, so
there's
that would be a good spectrum street epistemology one too.
So
there you
the
go.
statement
Should
is-
every VR chat group have a Discord channel?
So it would say not all
Or be-
VR chat groups should have Discords.
Yeah.
Interesting. I am really curious to see how people line up on that, but I'm worried that they would. Yeah, it's an interesting. I'm worried they would all be like, no, but that might not be true.
I'd be down to, what do you call it when you
Facilitate.
Oh, facilitate it.
Actually,
Yeah.
for when people bring their own questions like that, then I don't let them facilitate them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because that creates a bias in the facilitator. So usually we'll switch those out. So yeah.
I don't know. I try not to have a bias if I facilitate anything. So
all facilitators try that. It doesn't work when you actually have.
I don't really care what people answer. It's just my opinion is like I don't think every group should have a Discord.
That's a bias.
But
so
I
we
guess,
know your
yeah,
answer.
but I just don't like.
So
I don't know.
Yeah. I think it's
That's my pain point, or that's my pain point, though.
It is a pain point. You're overwhelmed by servers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I hear you. Maybe Bridgemakers should volunteer to be the first VR group to like eliminate their Discord. We just exist.
Well,
we just exist
well, you
in
might
VR.
You might need to eliminate Discord in the foreseeable future, considering the new CEO.
Yeah, there's just heads up, there is a organization called thematrix.org, and I am building out a community system with a leader who wrote some books on coping with and resisting the authoritarian government piece. So it's a slow process that needs to have been finished yesterday, but we are slowly growing a whole other network for leaders who are resisting and want to share resources. So, but it's not going to be on Discord. But I'm like, this is the worst selling point ever. Hey, you want to join a activism resistance network on matrix.org? I mean, that just sounds like a bad joke. That's like, yeah, weird. But Discord doesn't
does bring to mind I'm glad I can't remember his name, but the guy that no, he's Andrew Tate. He's always like, the Matrix is out to get me.
Yeah. Well, apparently it has become a nonprofit and is now protecting everybody until it's not.
I don't know, man.
Oh.
Worrying about every little thing online is too much.
It's tough. Exactly. But
That shit's
specifically
too much
for
work.
leaders, there's a different level of responsibility to ramp up security and work to minimize harm and risk, especially when people are sharing vulnerable things that put them at risk. So it's a mix. Blurdette, do you have a pain point you'd like to share?
Yes. So my pain point would be trying to build bridges while also feeling like you're a ghost in the town. So like I don't know. I guess I feel like there's a huge part of me that wants to build community and build bridges and meet people and just experience other people, be part of other people's experiences and appreciate their existence and everything. But then when I'm not around people, there's the other part of me that feels like it's always kind of like not really like an observer in my life. Like I always feel kind of like outside of my existence. So those things they feel kind of like oil and water. You know, like, and I feel like when I'm with the community, I exist, but then when I exit it and I'm on my own, I go to this other place. And yeah, and so yeah, I'm just trying to reconcile that and find a way to make a stronger connection between those two.
Who would like to try
That is
reflecting
quite
on that?
possibly the realest statement I've heard all day.
That one hits pretty close for me as well.
Wow, ringing the bell.
I hate to say it, but
too.
What's up, Quantum?
my what is it? What is the listening thing?
Reflective
I
listening.
forgot a brain fart. Yeah, my reflective listening, I hate to say it, would be the two wolves meme.
So that meme continues to be perpetuated, and I have a caution on that meme. Which wolf do you feed? Is that the one you're talking about?
No, it was like the two wolves inside of me meme.
Yeah, that's the same one.
It's the same thing.
Yeah. So if you look up the history of that meme, even though it feels like it is wise, it actually comes from Billy Graham, who
Don't
started
know who that
it.
is.
He is a very well-known, powerful mega pastor who is also known to be pretty fundamentalist and racist, unfortunately. So be careful with that one, because he attributed that from the beginning, even though he's the source, as that this was a Native American myth, and it's not. And so I think the aggression of that, of placing it, kind of tokenizing it as a Native American story, and then it wasn't, it was his, is problematic. And the story, as I've read it and have been told, you know, you and I with Billy Graham, right? The story I've been told about that one is there are two wolves. One wolf is a wolf of fear and greed or something. Fear and is it vengeance?
Man, now people are worrying about lore about memes, man. What's going on?
Well, the meme comes
I just
from,
keep the memes
right?
in my phone.
Yeah.
And I use them.
I hear you.
That's just kind of how it goes.
But basically it tells you to starve the wolf that is fearful. Just don't feed it.
Oh, I can't do that. It's so a cute little wolf that needs feeding.
And I'm like, I read that and I was like, say what? You have to starve a who? Like, how is that? That does not align at all with anything I know about Indigenous culture. So
can't you like pet it and give it
if you
comfort
look at it like,
and love?
Yeah.
If you look at it like an emotional standpoint, it kind of makes sense. Because, like, if you're going to starve the fearful, then it's like saying that you should try not to be fearful.
Yeah, I hear you.
In life, I guess, if you look at it like from a grander standpoint.
Yeah. And I would say what the myth is doing is it's splitting us in its fancy, clothing. It's splitting us into good and bad. And anything that is going to create a dichotomy inside of us creates momentum, but it also creates division. So I just feel careful about those things. Fear has purpose. Uncomfortable emotions, anger, greed, all of those things have purpose. And the only way to unwind those purposes is to be incredibly human with them. And remember, we are all animal and we are all of the sky also. We are spirit and we are carnal. And to starve what we project as an image of carnal just delays it. It does not kill it. It suppresses it. And then it comes out somewhere else.
And I imagine it can leave you with extra wounds. I mean, if I'm thinking of it like a literal wolf, if I starved a wolf that's a part of me, I would always remember that process and feel horrible for letting that happen.
Like, I got rid of my fear and I've murdered a dog, right? Yeah! And I think for people who are trying to get control over that part that is just paralyzed, feeling cornered by that wolf, it can feel like, yeah, if I stop paying attention to that for a while, this other part of me rises and has more nutrients. So how do we reconcile that one part is a temporary process and the other part is an investment practice? How did that wolf become so mean?
And
it's been very helpful. The examination of it is more valuable because, I mean, on its face, it comes off to me like a, with the origin of it, like a broken clock's right twice a day kind of thing. Wisdom can come from bad places, but then, like as you're saying, the more you examine it, I think it kind of just feels like that whole like, oh, you're depressed. Well, get
over it. Yeah, move on.
Stop. Your leg is broken.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. Just walk.
Hop on one. Hop on one leg.
So as we're getting into it, it's more, you should recognize, why you're maybe fearing something, why it's making you anxious, kind of examine that, rather than ignoring.
So, for example, with the emotion of envy in me, which I believe most of the time, for me at least, is before something like jealousy. Envy is, I want that, and I kind of want to shove you aside to get that. When envy comes up, I just find it so beautiful and funny and adorable. I feel like I instantly go into a visualization of a child at an ice cream, because this happened, by the way, as a child. My sibling, my little sister, she did this every time. She would get the better flavor, no matter what. She always picked the better flavor. And so I have that younger part of me. I want the other flavor after I've already picked mine, right? But I have so much affection for that part of me. I just feel like I swoop her up and I'm like, I know, we never get the right flavor. And because of that, she doesn't bite me. She just feels really sad for a moment and then eats her ice cream silently,
Yeah,
I'm just like, you cutie, it really isn't what you think it is, but
chocolate or vanilla flavor.
It's so true. And what I love about that memory also is that my little sister always felt so joyful that she had picked the best flavor. And she would look at me and eat every bite with such happiness. And in a world where you're the youngest, getting to see her be so blissed out at my misery was actually kind of cool. I enjoyed that. I got a different kind of ice cream watching her just really find so much humor in her intuition that she had picked the better flavor for the day. So if my little sister was the wolf, I want her to have her ice cream. And I'm the other wolf, and I feel sad and I feel starved a little bit, and I still see us as from the same place. So thank you for sharing your pain point. That sparked something here. And now we are going to transition into our world hop, which is asking how worlds make and break. Yes. Quick.
Comment on what you just said. It's like your perception builds a bridge between the experiences you and your sister had with the ice cream instead of breaking that bridge.
I love that. Yeah. Exactly. And there's the video that Carl posted today of that really cool comedian who has that horrible sleep disorder. And what he does when he sees people and he's feeling angry with them is he says, "This is me doing this to me." And so, you know, how I was picturing that on your thing, Scott, of this is me asking me for money. And this is me saying no to me. This is me being angry that I said no to me. And there's kind of a really terrible and beautiful peacefulness to that of going, I empathize here, I empathize there, I empathize here, I empathize there, right? Like, loop it. I feel it from both directions.
Bringing that in this epistemology thing will be so... Yes.
Remember, top level question, everyone is me.
Everyone is me. That's right. I strongly agree or strongly disagree. Okay, we have wilting cats in the corner here. They're falling asleep, so we got to start world hopping so they can.
Top level question.
Yay.
Schizophrenia.
Oh my.
I've got a world.
You got a world? Okay. Oh, we're going to go on a geek adventure. Make sure it is quest friendly. And
it is. I've personally made sure of it.
Yay. Good. So this is the part, I think you all know this, but I'm just going to remind us. So we're going to go to worlds and we're going to ask the question, how does this world make community and how does it break it? And we're going to hear the answers. And we're going to listen to each other and explore. Let's go.
I have a good world, I think.
Okay.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
We'll see.
We'll see. Okay, here we go. Come on. Wow.
Welcome to a very early prototype of our library.
Wow.
So, here you go. You can grab this tablet from the left side. You can use your laser pointer to open a book. And then by default, your right and left grips change pages.
Oh. Huh.
And if you need to change options like visuals or text size, you can click this options button down here in the bottom left.
See it.
Yes, I love the book. Your book here. Good one.
Grab from the left side.
Oh. I see.
This is wild.
I have one.
So how does
break
this
communities? I'm a lefty. This breaks my community.
I'm a lefty too. But how does it break?
Yeah, what is this? What is this discrimination, man? I can't hold it with my right hand.
There you go. Okay.
Before you hang me for not being able to grab from the right side, again, this is a early prototype.
Yeah.
We are nowhere near done.
Event, man. Lefty's getting suppressed. It's okay.
We'll create the lefty scissors later. Hey, we don't exist. I'm a lefty too. And
yo, wait, do you have that experience of not being able to use right-handed scissors too? Am I the only one?
No, it's a real thing.
Dang.
I don't have good cutting.
I have to tell my coworkers at work to cut stuff for me because I can't use their scissors. So I'm just painful. Like, yeah, you got it.
Yeah. So there's a break.
By the way,
and I want to make sure that we're pointing out the make community part also, because this is extraordinary. I didn't ever vision anything like this in VR, and it's very readable cool. And approachable.
I guess.
I'm impressed.
If I read books, which I don't.
Another barrier you might hit.
Wait, what? What'd you
if I
say?
read
I don't
books.
read books.
There we go. Found one
But
that fits the
we're
vibe.
Well,
getting
we do plan
closer.
on having audiobooks and other video sources for education in the library.
What am I
Okay,
reading right
lovely.
now?
How else does this make community? The design of it. What do we see?
So
Shares knowledge.
this is
Shares knowledge.
again this is an early prototype.
Yeah.
But we are going to be dividing the library into multiple wings. So for instance, let's say this is the science wing. That shelving system would be chemistry. That shelving system would be physics. That shelving system would be biology. So on and so forth. And then we would have each of these tablets preloaded with books relating to that category. So you'd have a bunch of these tablets all lining the shelves all at once.
Whoa. Huh, that's cool.
I can already see my PC exploding from 50 million tablets. I can feel my graphics card ramping up.
So the tablet only loads books locally. So even if someone's on the tablet reading it, it won't load the book information unless you go to that specific tablet and load a book. Part of that is bandwidth and resources. Since the string loader can handle up to 100 megabytes per URL, we have books that exist anywhere between 7 to 20 megabytes, and you don't want, so if there's 50 people in here, you're getting bombarded with gigabytes of data.
Sneaky, go stand by Geek. I want to get a picture of the two of you in here. There's something really lovely.
So are there only
this.
4 books on this tablet right now?
Sneaky, why don't we come over here by the plaque for the library?
Perfect. Look at that. Lovely. Oh, so beautiful. Sneaky, you gotta go a little bit that way. Yeah. There you go. What a vision in process. Well done. Okay, I got it. Thank you. That'll be one of our pictures tonight. We might do a write-up on this. It's really interesting. What else? Perfect. Yes. What else is true about this space? What makes community in the design of this space, even in its early frame?
Well, it will be a place for people to come to and get knowledge. We also plan on having a lecture hall so that actual licensed teachers and professors can do full lessons and lectures out of our library.
Whoa, look at that.
And we plan on working with educators in VR for that.
Oh, that's lovely. Yay. So there's so much here that we're getting to see a manifested vision. And Quantum, you're noticing and testing already about how does this work with our hardware? I want to acknowledge the space and how it's designed. This is not a library of perfect order. What does that tell us as a community when we come into a place that is quite literally in flux? How does that impact our bodies and our emotions?
Not a thing.
It does what?
Sorry, it's my wife talking to me.
Oh, okay.
Feels lived in, it feels alive.
Yeah. If everything was perfectly lined up in this place, I would come in and probably feel a sense of, I don't have a membership at this library, and I don't know who's going to get me in trouble here. And yet, there's a flux to it, literally, with all the things flying, but also the design. The design is circular with multiple layers. And so it's telling my body, it's okay to wander here. You're not going to mess anything up. And magic has been here, already. It's clearly giving that message. Magic has been here. And so
Yeah.
maybe there
Like
is
if
more magic to find inside the books and wandering about.
hmm Yeah, if I walked into this place in like real life, I wouldn't be afraid to well, I mean I might still be afraid to the heights, but I would feel welcome to climb the ladders and go reach a book that calls my interest without having to go find somebody and ask if I have permission.
Mm.
Versus if everything was super tidy, I'd be like, ooh, I don't know if that's for me. I think I need to go find someone and find out if they can get that book for me or something.
Yes. And if we think of books in VR like seeds, what this is doing is creating bridges to people in physical reality who would never engage in this medium for the gaming aspect of it. But they have really important wisdom to not just share with their local environment, their universities, their community systems. They do want to access and sample and test, how does my messaging affect people who wasn't looking for it, people who don't speak the language I wrote it in. This space tells a story of a bridge and of a community system sharing not just folklore and memes, those have value also, but also like really thought out literature of how we work as humans. And the architecture is telling us that story. This could be a world that is completely black, and there's a digital book, and you go and you sit at a black table and you just read your digital books. It could be that simple. But the container is telling us a story of privilege, of chaos, and of invitation already.
I may have, maybe you touched on this. I was distracted, but to me the environment very much has that implication of like the knowledge is endless. Like
Yeah.
there's
Well-
not something that you could just read it all and be done with. Like
Well
you'll
put.
never get through all these books.
Yeah.
If you read the plaque over there, it does state that the knowledge that we'll be able to store here will essentially be infinite.
Infinite knowledge.
Woo.
Yeah.
And this
Lovely. So in some ways, to lean a little bit on the mysticism end of things, this may be the modern incarnation or footprint or fingerprint of the Akashic records, a version of it, which is the idea that there is a other space, a third space, that all of the knowledge that has ever existed in the universe and all of the knowledge that will ever exist in the universe already lives somewhere. Ooh.
Isn't there a VR chat world that's
Hey,
like that
Lucky.
idea directly? Like it's all random
Hi.
generated and you can find any
So
combination of
that's based on the Library of Babel, which essentially brute forces all combinations of text. And given enough exploration, you may find a copy of a book, but it would take you years to do so.
Yeah, I've tracked down like single sentences in books using the search in there, but I've never, you can't imagine finding a whole book.
Yeah. And this is
I got a
making it
question.
centered. Yeah, quantum.
What's the fee on a late book return?
Lovely.
A blockbuster your ass, kid.
About 350 V-Bucks.
Ooh, look at that. Monetization by penalty if you don't return your digital book. That actually would be a really fun, like, clickable donate button of like, for all the late books that I never returned.
Well,
let's pay you.
we do have a link down there to our Patreon for those that want to donate and help contribute to the library's construction.
Amazing. It's amazing progress. Let's all give Geek and Sneaky and Lucky, welcome Lucky, just some hearts.
Yeah.
By the way, Lucky is a friend of ours and they are an actual licensed teacher.
Oh, well, we're lucky to have you here. Lucky for this.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
That is quite an avatar you were wearing.
Also, I'm not licensed yet. I'm still
Oh.
working towards it.
Nice.
Oh, I thought you were.
No, I'm working towards the license.
Oh,
Swear.
okay.
Look at
If I work like a year more, they'll pay for it. And all the
three
classes.
of your avatars actually fit into this space really well in very different ways. But you look
Thank
like
you.
you are
I
of
picked mine
this
based
realm.
on the environment too.
Yeah, yeah.
It's true.
It's lovely.
You
So
look like
lovely.
you're all going to a gala, a kitty gala.
Oh, you want to see a gala?
Uh-oh. Yes. Oh, dear. Oh, wow.
Dear.
Oh, my.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
All the way there. Look at it.
Come
Oh,
on, come
my.
on, Quest.
Gone with
Look at
the
that.
wind.
Grab my good
style.
hand, Sneaky. Help me.
Nice. So,
Help me.
thank
There we
you.
My
go.
leg in my hand.
Oh,
Stupid
wow.
Quiz pros.
Thank you,
Stupid quiz pro.
Geek, for showing us your update. It does look like you have been working
Beautiful.
hard. It's really, really
Can I
lovely.
grab it?
And
Maybe.
yeah, is this a world that I can save or it's not public yet?
It is not public yet
Okay.
because there's a lot of functionality that we have to still cram in here before it's ready for its 1.0 release.
Well, I'm glad I'm streaming so I can show this to some colleagues who might want to support and get involved. So, yay.
Yeah, if you have colleagues that would be interested in helping our development, I would be very interested in talking to them.
Okay. Yeah. And
Oh my
has
God, Quest, what's
educators
going
in VR seen this world yet?
A few of their staff have. There's still others that I want to get them introduced to, but overall, they probably won't be getting fully involved until we at least have our 1.0 release of the
Yeah.
library.
Yeah. But I think you're pretty close to at least a beta of sorts. If you have at least a few books in here, the concept's proven and the world is there enough. What I've learned about showing worlds that are too far done is you don't get your base support community involved as much. So showing worlds that are not done enough creates a hunger many times in people to actually like see the vision all the way through. So note that piece as far as how you pitch these kinds of projects. I literally at times have shown people earlier versions of less complete things if I know I have a one shot and I want it conveyed to them that their help is essential. I won't show them the latest version. I'll show them the version I think fits for them. And I'll tell them that, but it's amazing to think about where do I want people to come in on this journey and how soon do I reach out to them to start getting their wheels turning. So who else has a world for us? It's such a cool world in here. I kind of want to grab a photo with everybody in here before we go. It's just such a beautiful thing to see. I feel like we just went to the baby's sonogram or something. We heard the heartbeat. It's like, oh, let's get a picture of the heartbeat. So cool. Okay, we're gonna come stand by the kitty cats. Let's all celebrate. We can bring all our friends here someday and be like, we were there. Oh, look at that beautiful group. Good design, Geek. I can tell it's a geek world.
Okay, I'll stand here. Good enough.
Yay, look at that. You're all so beautiful. Aww. Okay, we got it. So I will say one thing before somebody's going to drop a portal to our next world, and then I think we're going to be out of time. Yeah, actually, we might need to do our checkout next. But what I want to say is I hope it's not necessary, but it's nice to have that there is a place that you can walk up to a pillar and just walk up and walk around upside down. I think that's a perfect geek world.
So it's funny you should mention that because the mathematics ring will have traversable non-Euclidean geometry.
Perfect. I knew you were going to do it, but I wanted to put my vote in to definitely do that because that's a very geek thing to do. Okay, lovely. All right. Does anybody have a good nature-esque checkout world for us to go to and do our appreciation game? Otherwise, I will find this one.
I might have one.
Okay. Is it PC friendly?
Oh wait, let me check if it's both. Oh yeah, it says it's both on the thing.
Okay. PC Quest.
Do
Yeah.
I just make it invite or invite plus?
Friends
What do I do?
Plus.
Group?
Friends Plus.
Oh, friends plus. Okay.
I'm so excited about this, Geek. You got far. Much further than I anticipated. Well done.
All right, let's go.
Yay. Sneaky, are you coming?
I'm coming.
I'm coming. Yay. All right, let's do this.
There is Cliff's.
I VR
And
tripped.
there goes Carl.
Pretty. Very
Sparkly.
sparkly.
Crayon, perhaps?
I
Soothing.
don't know if this one has a crayon.
Don't fall off the cliff, little Mew.
No, for eating.
I don't know. There's like a
Yay.
for eating. Yeah, I don't know about
Okay.
that.
Wow, cozy and sparkly and all the things.
Another
There's
one
my sleeping bag.
to the void.
Where'd you find
Just
the lamp?
perfect. My
Oh,
avatar
my
butt always
avatar.
feels
Walking
numb and
down the
bony.
Oh.
The void
It's
is
never-
eating
That is
us.
mine.
Never something cushy
I
to
just
sit
need a
on.
light, like a flashlight or something.
What do we
Okay,
think of the
campers.
world? Is it a vibe?
Crisscross applesauce, everyone. We're going to do our checkout.
Does this pass the vibe check?
Vibe check.
Where's my chair?
Beautiful vibe.
Beautiful.
Does this world
vibe.
have
At least my normal seated position is cross-legged. I don't even need to go loco. Nice.
Crisscross applesauce. So, for those of you who maybe are not familiar, did we lose a Lucky? We lost a Lucky. Oh no, there's Lucky.
Lucky's
there.
right there.
So Lucky has never
Yeah.
been a part of this before. So this is called the appreciation game. And what are the 2 rules to the appreciation game?
Throw
Don't
the ball to
split the
someone
ball
you
up.
want to appreciate,
Oh,
and then
Close.
tell them what you appreciate about them.
That's nice. That is the function of it. Don't split the ball. That was a learned experience. That's not a rule. It's a guideline, but yes, that's
oh,
important too.
Dang.
So
Give
the
it a shot.
rule, anybody else want to try? The rule?
may the best man win on getting the first ball.
No, that's definitely not
Um,
it. No competition.
You should, did we already say this? Appreciate someone who isn't expecting it. Okay.
Who is least expecting it from you and will be most surprised to receive it in that moment. So, if you're looking away, you're more likely to get the ball, sometimes thrown at you more than once. This is a time to listen and pay attention and track where this is going, because, and this is an invisible ball for those who don't remember. It's right here roasting in the fire, getting all warm. We're going to throw this ball and we're going to close the circle by giving it to somebody who's least expecting it from us and will be most surprised to receive it. And you can appreciate anything about somebody. Like, it doesn't have to be, I see your soul. It's just acknowledging that we're all growing each other in every moment. So who would like to grab the ball first except Carl? Carl cannot grab the ball first.
All right, I don't want this to get too hot.
Sword guy. Okay.
Lordette. It's hot.
Thank
Watch
you.
out.
Thank
I'm
you.
sorry, but you're first.
I'm playing hot potato with
It's so
this
hot.
one.
Okay.
I really appreciate your honesty and your willingness to like ask about handing some support and advice and kind of pushing even a little bit against that guideline, because you really felt that was such a moment to offer support to Scott.
Mhm.
And that was just a lot of compassion, care, and like even a bit of bravery on your part. Like, I just saw so much good come out of what you did earlier.
That's a
Thank
good
you.
one.
Thank
Well
you
done.
for Thank you for recognizing my my intention.
Oh, yeah.
I will pass the ball to hey Matt,
What?
because to continue that, thank you for letting me get away with all of my
Oh,
little cheats that I didn't really
so many
realize I was
cheats.
doing, but I do because
Mm-hmm.
I just can't keep it in when I want to help.
I
But
know.
sometimes you have to, and so
Mm-hmm.
I've learned a very good lesson
Mm.
that I sometimes I can chill and I can let it sit.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Oh, thank you. And technically, my hope, and I have heard this because many of you are connected to each other now and you weren't before. What I do in denying you the horror, I deny you the opportunity to help somebody who is like you, who's a community builder in pain. So, what that does is it requires you to hold witness of each other. And if that ache continues of wishing you could have offered support to that person, now you get to do that on your own time, not just as a knee jerk response, but as an actual reach out and how are you? And would you like to talk again about that? So planting that witness inside of us that lets our hearts call us when we're out of this moment actually builds bridges, much deeper bridges, because we don't get to finish it. So there
Yes.
is a design in this. And the design is hold witness of each other's aches and know that even if you have the perfect solution, you can practice knowing that person will find the perfect solution for them and letting them be curious and approach you also.
Thank you for explaining that in more depth. That
Oh,
really hit home. Okay,
yeah.
thank you.
Yay. Of course. Okay. Ooh, I never get all the options like I do now. This is so painful when I start at the beginning because I'm like, there's so many. Okay. I am going to throw this to Lucky. You got it? I don't really throw. I
Just
hand.
put it
There
in
we
my
go.
hands.
There we go. Okay, you
I
got it?
got it.
All right. So,
Got it.
Lucky, I appreciate how you appeared like the matron of the library and just blended
The
in
master
so beautifully.
librarian
Yeah. And also
appeared.
you set a boundary with the understanding of where you were at in your degree process. And that's integrity that you were holding there, going, not yet, not yet. And so I want to honor that. It brings respect in me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I try.
Mm-hmm.
No. So I give the ball to someone and I say
Do.
why I appreciate them. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give the ball to
Ooh,
Quantum. You can
handing
have
it.
this.
Quantum.
Got the ball.
Quantum, you have this.
I shall accept it graciously.
Oh, gracious acceptance.
You have this.
Okay.
I gave the ball to Quantum to say I appreciate you. Although I forgot why. I think you said
So
something
real.
in the library that resonated with me and I forgot.
Was it the late fee ticket thing?
Yes. Actually.
Okay.
Sorry,
Lovely.
I just got off work.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, good Quantum. That was a cute joke, but it's a really great way to undo some of the systemic order that definitely extinguished my interest in going to the library was the guilt of not bringing the books back on time. And so undoing that with some jovial trickery and silliness could be a really good way to break people through their binds. Lovely.
All right. Damn. Wait, what was the one I heard? I'm trying to think. Hold on a second. Can I pass it to someone that has already gotten it?
Ideally, no. But if you have to, then yes. Try to
Okay.
try to just
All
know
right.
that there's something in everyone here.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember if this person has got it already, but I'm gonna pass it to Blurdet
Oh, Bernadette!
for that.
Ooh.
Was that the Damn. What was your pain point again?
Oh,
Feeling separate.
feeling separate.
Yeah, that was like the realest statement I think I've heard all day. Like, I don't know. That just like it like resonated with me. Is how I would put
Thank
it.
you. Thank you. I
For like
hope
the
that
pain point.
thanks, and feels good to get the ball again. And yeah, thank you. I always hope that sharing something really real will, resonate with other people and hopefully do something good for them.
It takes courage, and we appreciate your courage
Thank you.
to open up.
Well, now I have the responsibility of being surprised by somebody or surprising someone again with the ball.
We'll all be surprised because we definitely weren't expecting it from you again. So you can throw it to anybody.
Okay. So I'm going to throw the ball to Sneaky Space Cat.
Woo! Damn, that was some good responding. Wow.
That was really good.
Yeah.
I really am loving how you are embodying your avatar, and I love how you and Geeknificent interact. It is just giving me life, man.
It's mesmerizing. I know.
Yes. So yeah, it's just thank you for allowing me to be in this space and feel that beautiful energy.
That's lovely.
Thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate Gubsy. When we were in the library, I saw you tooling around the hallways and checking everything out, and I really appreciate that you took the time to just really explore everything.
Yeah, nice.
There was a lot going in my mind. So I appreciate you noticing that. Okay, I want to give it to Carl. Carl, you haven't gotten it, right?
Nope.
I want to give it to you because, yeah, I just turned over and I just looked at you and I went, oh, Carl. Carl is, I don't know, you just gave me like a feeling of like warmth and comfort. I don't know why, but like you're such like a chill person, and that like comfort was like making me feel a little bit anchored for a second. So I was gonna give it to somebody else, but I just looked over and I saw you, and I went, "Oh yeah, this person." You're always like a great, person to see, and just it's always great to see you, and you're just kind of very, like a very nice, soft pillow, and then it's very heartwarming to have you around.
Damn.
So I appreciate that.
Man.
Yeah, that's real.
Thank you. Yeah, especially since I was kind of feeling like I didn't really contribute much tonight. So thank you.
No, you contributed. You contributed. You definitely did. Just your energy. Looking at you, having that anchor. It's great. It's great.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you. And I'm gonna halfway cheat here because what I'm gonna say applies to most
Don't
folks
do it,
here,
Carl.
to be
Don't
honest.
do it.
But it mainly applies to Scott.
Okay.
It mainly
Scott,
applies
you got
to
the ball.
Scott. So I'm throwing my ball. Hold on, I gotta get it.
Don't
Where's
go
my
to the
ball?
dark side, Anakin.
Don't go to the dark side.
Don't
Oh,
be a
look.
cheat.
Ooh, that was, did I get that on camera? That was cool. Did you all see that?
That was perfect.
Scott,
Like jumped
Scott
into the ball.
burst the ball with his Mew foot. Like, that is magic. Damn. Go Scott. Jedi
Yeah,
Scott.
I hadn't seen Scott in a few weeks, and I was really glad that when I saw the notification that he had joined up the instance.
Look at that.
And
Aw,
so really glad to see you here and
that's so
coming in
cool.
and spending time with us. And like I said, that kind of applies to everyone too, though. But I definitely definitely had that moment of like, oh, Scott's here. Hey.
Oh, you just made Scott turn into a bubblegum ball. That was pretty cool.
Aw.
Well done. Wow. Oh.
Oh, thanks so much. Yeah, it's been busy at work, and I missed everybody. So when I saw the notification, I was like, oh, that's what I'm doing.
Yay.
And, it's really great to hear everybody's voice. And I would like to take the opportunity to throw a ball in the general direction, Geeknificent.
I'll bounce it to you. Oh, there you go. Just punted it to you. You got the ball?
It was in the vicinity.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what I appreciate the most is like the superpower development, like building skills and sort of turning that into like a greater good. Like that's such a wonderful. I feel honored to have like been able to check the world out, and it's it's possible you're going to change somebody's life, and I just want to recognize that, and also thank you for showing up even though you're not physically 100% yet. So
beautiful.
Thank you. Thanks for being you.
Yeah, way to honor that. Yeah. Purr.
I guess I appreciate you guys too, because Bridgemakers is a place of trying to bring people together, and well, people keep telling me that I have this gravity to me, this draw to me. And I've kind of made it my mission statement to use this gravity to bring people together.
I feel that.
For the questies in the room, Geek has just launched the signature black hole above our fire, and it is sucking us all in slowly. So, welcome.
Gravity well.
Yes.
It's PC compatible too.
Yeah,
you should take a picture so that the questies can see it in the Discord.
I should, yeah. Who do we have that are questies here that are like, why is everybody looking up?
Like,
that
VR Chat Plus thing with the camera where, like, snapshot, they can see it.
Yeah, I got it, bro. Hold up.
Polaroids.
Yeah.
Oh no, not that one. There we go.
Hey, got it, Geek. Thank you. Lovely. Talk about an
Polaroids.
appreciation ball.
Quantum is using their print camera.
Oh yeah, look at that.
That's it.
Oh, that's smart.
I don't know how to do that.
VRC Plus.
I got it, Chiefs.
One day I'm gonna have to pay for
Nice. I know.
I could
Look
get a
at
farther
Yeah,
one.
they are
but-
slowly making VR Chat Plus
that's
more
cute.
worth it.
Mm-hmm.
There you go, Chiefs.
Beautiful. Look at that. So pretty.
Oh wait, purple it. I think there we go. I could get like a farther pic, but
Yay.
that's basically what
So,
it looks
so
like.
Geek, thank you for that incredible show as always. And do you have somebody here you want to throw the appreciation ball to specifically?
I kind of just threw it to everyone a moment ago, so
I
Can't do
know.
that.
So it sounds like no. So I will grab the ball out of middle. Throw it to George.
there, I have my own ball.
Ah, it's hot again.
I'll just throw it to everyone.
Yes, yeah. Oh wow.
No,
Okay, it's wrapping around.
Oh,
Nice.
Fan it off.
Wait, George, did you already get the ball? You didn't get it yet, did you?
Negative.
Yeah, that's what
Well,
I thought.
I
Okay.
guess I got a bit of the everybody,
Yeah,
crumbs
you got
and
that
scraps
part.
of.
Right, yeah.
oh, I'm so sorry. I
That's
thought you
okay.
got the ball already.
No.
I know. I took the ball first.
You didn't get the ball. You took the ball. Do you want to throw the ball to George, or would you like me to? That's so cool.
Sure. Here,
Oh,
have my little
my.
galaxy ball
that's
here.
happening. Wow.
Ooh, it's
Beautiful.
cool to the touch.
It's got the
Not full of
mathematical
fire.
construct.
Wow.
And I appreciate you
It's
for
a nice hat.
You're enjoying the stars inside, aren't you?
And it just sucked one of our bridge makers into Geek's black hole. It's just another Friday night, you know. This is what we do when we meet. We get swallowed by black holes at the end. Yes. Geek, what is your
wild thing to say?
I appreciate your woe that you were sharing earlier about how people engage in different ways and how there's a problem with having those engagements be healthy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because not all of them are, but also providing space so that they can be healthy engagements.
Here, here. Geek gets the award for longest pause in reflective listening and still nailing it. Well done. Yeah, that's lovely. Full circle. Now you get to choose. I think last Sunday somebody decided to put the appreciation ball up on eBay. But you can take it home with you or
Did
throw
Bingo
it one more
receive
time.
appreciation?
Did
Was
who?
it
Wait,
about the
did you get
library?
everything?
Okay, just making
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
I have.
Yay. Okay, thank you for checking. Yeah, we all need to check to make sure our group mind is remembering all of us. So that is our circle tonight. And what a cool place to land. Whoever brought us here, was it Quantum?
Yeah.
Yeah, this was a really good way to close. Very cosmic and matches Geek's black hole even. So it's lovely. Unless that is you, Geek. Is that you up in the sky or is that the world?
No, that's the world
No,
right
it's the
now.
world.
Oh, it just
It's
matches
based on
then.
Outer Wilds. I haven't ever played it, but apparently it's a good
But
game.
if you want, there you
Whoa,
go.
there we go.
I heard it was a
Okay.
good game.
Yeah. Lovely. Sparkles. Okay, so our next event is Sunday. It is Street Epistemology. Please RSVP if you have not already. And as always, I just, these Friday nights feel like purposeful, playful, and also a gardening investment in our hearts. And so thank you for investing in our hearts and keeping the heartbeat of Bridgemakers alive. And I'm going to go for the evening, but this was so lovely. I just want to sit by the fire with you all. Oh, we could do one
I
more.
guess we got one in the library.
Let's get one more, but we could do one more if y'all feel like it.
Also, hey, you still need to come see the Blind Wolf with me.
You're right. You're right. I know. I promised you. Okay. Can I do a 5-minute body break and then meet you over there? Okay, good. But yeah, let's grab one by the fire. This is so cozy. I feel like we need just one more. One more. Look at that. So pretty. Good job, Call to the Wild. Whatever game this is. Scott.
It's the same game that this avatar's from.
The Breath of the Wild.
I love it.
Do we all look
Outer
up?
Wilds.
Tell me.
You know this avatar of mine.
The wild thornberries.
Double fire.
Wow, that's so cool.
This is from the same game. This avatar.
Do we all look up?
I think
I really
this
gotta play that game.
Perfect. We're all like warming our hands by the fire. It's yummy.
Can we do one where we all look up and it takes a picture from the
I
top?
like that. That's a good idea. From the black hole.
I don't want to warm my hands in the fire. My fingers are marshmallows.
Okay.
Cool dynamic shot.
Ooh, I'm right above something here. Is this yours, Geek? It's right above.
No, that's the world.
I
Oh, that's
can't
the
tell
world.
these days. All right, if I position it correctly, which I had it
I've
for a
warped your
second.
reality so much you don't know what's real or not anymore.
That's right. Okay, now we can look up, and the fire is also the black hole. So look at that. Yay! Aw, so cute. Okay, thank you for the idea, Blurdat. Well done. Okay, y'all, 5 minutes and I will meet Geek, and it was so good to see you. And please tell friends about Bridgemakers. We are always inviting, especially helpers and newbies, people who want to learn. This is a word of mouth effort.
I have submitted my question.
Woo! Yay. Good.
Nice.
Okay. Good night. Good night.
Bye.
Hopefully see you Sunday.
Night.
Let's have a
Gang.
fight and have fun doing it. All right. Let's see the last
Let's have a
blood.
fist fight in the streets.
A street fight, if you